rewinding a bit, Rochelle Trejo herself, uh, you talk about the growth mindset. You alluded to this earlier on that you have a creative tendency that you like to make things, share a bit about, if you don't mind, where that kind of stems from. Do you always have this growth mindset? Were you creative? Were you painting, growing up, where did that
The
inspiration come from?
creativity, I know. I think there's a book I read and I can't even remember the name, but it alluded to the fact that there's something in each of us that makes our heart sing, that brings us joy. Like a true foundational core of who we are. And what is that? Like, what is it that drives you? And I was a stay-at-home mom for 8, 9 years. And I mean, loved it, loved my children, but it was hard
Mm,
for me to love being at home, and my life revolved around little kids, right? Like it was feeding
mm,
them and taking care of them, and that's what it was. So during that time, I had to find something, some way to be myself and to be able to have something for me. And I didn't realize it until years later, but always I was working on something. There was always some
mm,
project, there was something I was learning. And like I said, I didn't even see it when I was in it. It wasn't until I stepped back and I started looking at my life, over the course of years that I realized, oh, this room, I completely retextured all the walls. I repainted everything. I redecorated everything. I was always creating something. Or if I was
mm.
in the kitchen, it wasn't just making dinner, I was making croissants from scratch, right? Like
Yeah.
always creating. I love to garden. So it wasn't just going out and, pruning something. It was, okay, I'm going to completely tear up the landscaping. I'm going to redo the watering line and I'm going to redo the entire land. I was landscaping. I would be gardening and landscaping and doing everything. Um, it's that creation is what fuels me. And some
Mm,
people, it may be designing. It's not actually doing the creating, it's the designing. It may be, whatever it is, but I think coming and finding, which takes work to come to know yourself. That's
mm,
hard work. But it's very truthful work if you're willing to do it, because then you get to the core of who you are and what it is that drives you. Aesthetics is another way for me to be able to create